Let me share with you one of my biggest failures as a magician. I'm excited to share this with you because it hurts less now because it's been so long. But when I first started out in magic, I was certain, right? I was absolutely certain that the best way for me to become the best magician in the world and defeat David Copperfield was to essentially spend all my time training myself in sleight of hand and just becoming an amazing sleight of hand magician. So I focused on all the technical aspects. The more difficult the piece of sleight of hand, the more it excited me, right? When I saw a piece of sleight of hand and the magician saying, to learn this move, you will take you 200-300 hours of straight practice, I got super excited about that because I thought, my goodness, if I could master that, I'll be one of the very few people in the world that could master a trick like that. So I focused for years on just technical ability, right? And you know when you really believe in something and then you get proven wrong? Or you know when you really think that this must be the way and then you're completely wrong, like in a movie when you're watching a movie and you think the murderer is the guy named John, but the whole time the actual murderer was your best friend James. You know, it's that experience, like that shock moment, that moment when you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed this. I was actually wrong about the technical ability being the one thing that's going to take me from where I am to stardom and to fame and to success. I was actually wrong. And this was the moment when I realized it all. I was in the city, in my home city, Adelaide, and I love watching buskers perform because I think they're one of the top performers in the world if you're able to just perform to people in the street. And I was watching this one guy perform. And I remember as he took out his packet of cards and he started to perform this trick, I knew exactly what trick he was going to perform. I just knew it. And so I sat back and I watched and I went, I was thinking in my own head, I was thinking, are you serious? That's the trick you're performing? That trick is easy. It's so easy. No one's going to clap at that. Are you serious? Pick something like, oh my God, I'm so worried for him. And there was a bit of worry, but it was more so kind of spite that, I was just thinking, that's not going to be a very good trick. But he performs and I see the audience become super engaged with him. I'm thinking, what the hell? What the hell? This is meant to be, this is not a good trick. What are you doing? You're crazy. You're stupid people. What are you doing, right? And at the end, after he finishes and he brings his hands together and thanks the audience, he gets this thunderous applause. And I'm standing there with my arms crossed at that point thinking, what the hell? People don't know what's good magic. People are stupid. Everyone's stupid. He's stupid. Everyone's stupid. But I didn't realize that the most stupid person there was me, right? Because he had all the accolades. He had the thunderous applause, and I was there being super negative, thinking that, oh, if only people could see my technical ability, if only people could see what I could do with a packet of cards. And that's when I realized that to be great at magic is not just about your ability technically, right? There's a whole nother component. There's what magicians call showmanship. And you see, showmanship is just a fancy word for communication skills. Now, this is the part where it becomes extremely relevant for you, okay? Now, you may be thinking, oh, but I'm not a magician, this doesn't apply to me. It absolutely does. It doesn't matter what we do in life. We could be an electrician, we could be a pharmacist, we could be someone who owns a grocery store, we could be a baker, we could be a doctor. It doesn't matter, right? This same theory applies to all of us. In everything that we do in life, there is a technical component and then there's a showmanship component, you see. And let's take an example so you understand. Let's say a pharmacist. The technical skill of a pharmacist is their ability and their understanding in what each type of medicine does. Do I take this medicine once I take it, or do I need food before it? Do I have food after it? Do I need to crush the medicine? Or what do I need to do? That's a pharmacist, their technical ability, their technical knowledge. But to a pharmacist, they also have showmanship requirements. For them to be successful as a pharmacist, they have to have great showmanship. And what I mean by that, like I said, is communication skills. So where does that apply in a person who's a pharmacist? When a customer comes in and they're talking to the customer, for example, that's showmanship. When they're in their office and they're in their pharmacy and they're discussing things with their staff, that's showmanship, that's communication skills. And the same goes for an accountant. His technical ability is his ability to understand numbers, but his showmanship ability is his ability to be able to transfer that knowledge to another human being. And that's what communication skills are. To me, put simply, communication skills are essentially the bridge that allow you to provide the value to somebody else, to add value to somebody else.
without good communication skills, there's no bridge, and without the bridge, there's no way for you to deliver the value to the other person. Now here's the problem, okay? Now here's the big problem, right? You see, regardless of what you do, there's a conference that you go to at least once a year, generally, right? There's generally conferences for every industry, and as a speaker, I can tell you this, I've spoken at almost every single industry that exists in the world. I've even done the Self-Storage Association, which was an awesome conference, by the way. But you see, here's the thing. What do we do at conferences? Like, what do we actually do? At conferences, we go there to improve our technical knowledge. So my question to you here is, when do we improve our showmanship? When do we actually work on our communication skills? That part of the equation generally is left to the individual. That part of the equation is usually left to the person themselves, and they have to have enough motivation and inspiration to improve that area. And if we don't, well then, too bad, too sad, right? So here's the thing. This is what I've recognized, and I've seen this over and over and over again, and it's frustrating, but I want to share it with you. But this is it, right? Every single company I go to, I always have the privilege of being able to spend time with their top performers or their key players that are doing really well. And when I look at these people, you know, there's nothing special about them. Just like there's nothing special about me, right? I'm not saying that I'm special, they're not. I'm just saying there's actually nothing special about these people. They're normal, they're human beings. They have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, a nose, they breathe. They're the same as you and me, right? There's nothing special about them. There's just one thing that they can do better than the rest. They have better communication skills. They have better showmanship. They're able to communicate their value across to a client so well that their conversion rate when they start selling things is just through the roof, 80%, 90%, 100%. They're able to communicate with clarity to their business partners, the value that they add. And because of that clarity that they communicated the value with, they now have high positions in the company. And because they have great communication skills, their personal lives are amazing. Their relationships with their wives and their wife, I should say, not wives, it is amazing. But it's because they have great communication skills. And they basically, I believe in their life at some point, they saw the value in it and they focused and went all chips in on let's build great communication skills, and they now benefit from an amazing life because they have the communication skills required. You see, I believe everybody deserves an amazing life, right? Because then I will see some people in the same company that are technically brilliant and they're hating on the guys that are doing really well, because in their mind they're thinking, oh, I know more than that guy. I should be doing better than him. He should be making all that money. I should be. He's not smart as me. I'm smarter than him. And it reminded me of when I was a magician. And the only problem here is that sometimes we just don't have the knowledge. Sometimes we just don't get given the right direction. And I guess this is why I want to create these series of videos. Because I have obsessed, and I really mean obsessed over presentation and communication skills. I've obsessed over it. Ever since I discovered the world of speaking, I pretty much have dissected and pulled this world apart to try to understand what makes a great speaker, what makes a great communicator, what makes a great showman. And I've recorded literally every single one of my keynotes that I've been doing since 2013. And I watch all of them again to understand what I did well, when the audience laughs, when they react, when they start clapping in the middle of a keynote for no reason, when I can hear gasps, when I can see head nods all over the audience. Like, I've documented this. And now I feel that I'm ready. I feel that I'm actually ready to be able to teach this to you. And I just want to do this on social media. I want to be able to share with you on all the platforms, because I believe that when you can harness this ability to communicate, and I mean really communicate, when you can do this, this doesn't only change your professional life. This changes your entire life. If there was ever one skill that could have a dramatic effect on you, it's communication skills. It's your showmanship. So I hope you enjoy this little series that I'm going to start putting out, and I really want to know what you think about this. I really want to know your thoughts. So make sure you just comment and share with me. Do you think it's important? Do you think communication will change your life? Do you think it can change your life? Or has it already changed your life? Tell me. I want to hear about it.